What if I told you that some of the Premier League's biggest legends started off like total flops? Yeah, we're talking 007 level flops. 0 goals, 0 assists in their first 7 games. Before they were icons, they were doubted, booed, even called wastes of money. So sit tight, because today, we're diving into the 007 files. 7 football greats who went from mission impossible to mission legendary. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United in 2003, fans expected a magic show from day one. But instead of fireworks, we got stepovers, frustration, and no-end product. 7 games and 0 goals, 0 assists. Not exactly the next Figo everyone imagined. But here's the twist. Ronaldo wasn't failing, he was loading. By his 9th game, he found the net against Portsmouth, and the rest is golden history. Imagine benching that 18-year-old just because he didn't score early. Unthinkable, right? Before he became Liverpool's heartbeat, Steven Gerrard was just a skinny local lad trying not to get bullied by midfield monsters. His first 7 Premier League appearances across 2 seasons? 0 goals, 0 assists, but a truckload of tackles. Gerrard wasn't flashy, he was learning, adjusting, preparing to lead. And when he finally clicked, the roar of Anfield would echo his name for decades. Sometimes, greatness doesn't arrive loud, it sneaks in wearing muddy boots. Raheem Sterling's debut at Liverpool wasn't the Sterling we know today. At just 17, he looked more like a schoolboy than a Premier League winger. His first 7 games? No goals. No assists. But flashes of speed, bravery, and wild decision-making. Brendan Rodgers saw something, and within 2 seasons, that same teenager became one of the league's most dangerous forwards. Moral of the story? Patience turns potential into profit. Before he became Liverpool's all-time top scorer, Ian Rush couldn't buy a goal. In his first 7 top-flight appearances, he hit the post, the stands, and probably a few advertising boards, just not the net. Critics murmured, doubters smirked. But once he scored, he never stopped. It's poetic. The man who started slow became the player who defined consistency. If that's not football irony, what is? When Dennis Bergkamp arrived at Arsenal for a club record fee, he was supposed to be their savior. 7 games later, no goals, no assists, and headlines screamed bird flop. But then, magic. In his 8th game, he scored twice, silencing every critic. Bergkamp's touch, vision, and calm turned Arsenal from a club into an art form. Proof that even geniuses need a warm-up lap. Thierry Henry's early Arsenal days were awkward. He'd been a winger at Juventus, and Wenger threw him into the Premier League storm. 7 games and 0 goals. English defenders bullied him, pundits questioned him, fans doubted him. Then, something clicked, a confidence spark, a tactical tweak, and boom! The floodgates opened. The man who couldn't score became Arsenal's all-time top scorer and a global icon. Crazy, right? When Drogba came to Chelsea, people expected instant carnage. Instead, injuries slowed him, defenders mocked him, and critics called him a flop. But Drogba wasn't done, he was adapting, waiting for his moment. Fast forward a few months, and that same man became the definition of clutch. Cup finals, title deciders, you name it, Drogba delivered. His early silence was just the calm before the roar. So next time a young star struggles, remember, even the GOATs wore 007 first. Every great player was once a project, not a product. So tell me, which current Premier League youngster do you think might go from 0 to hero? Drop your prediction in the comments, because who knows, your guess might age like fine wine. And hey, if you enjoyed this trip down football's memory lane, smash that like button, subscribe to Hoops and Goals, and turn on the bell icon, because more legendary football stories are loading.